Everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Red State dated June 5th, and it's not fascism when we do it. Because here's Hakeem Jeffries, and I have a feeling it's going to go into exactly what I thought it was, which is him threatening ICE agents. But remember, it's okay when he does it. It says Hakeem Jeffries is threatening ICE agents. Because and this is what he said. He said, every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach, which it's not, and are trying to hide their identities from the American people, will be unsuccessful in doing that. They're not trying to hide their identities, dickhead. They are not like intentionally doing it. Okay, they're doing it because you guys keep doxing them and you put them in danger. That's why it's happening. It's your fault. So he said that at a press conference on Tuesday. It wouldn't have been the past Tuesday by the time you're hearing it, but the one before that. He says, this is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s, because that's the only time period that leftists ever seem to know existed. It's like whenever they bring up World War II, it's like, you guys know that it's called World War II, right? Like, there are other wars that have happened in the history of the world. It's not the only one, okay? This is in every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will, of course, be identified. No, not of course. Okay? Say, Hakeem, how would you like it if people doxed you? Okay, I don't think you'd like that. I don't advocate for anybody doing that. And it says, this would appear to be illegal, because of course it was. So it's 18 U.S. Code, whatever that symbol is, I don't know, 119 says protection of individuals performing certain official duties. As in general, whoever knowingly makes restricted personal information about a covered person or a member of the immediate family of that covered person publicly available, 1, with the intent to threaten, intimidate, or incite the commission of a crime against that covered person or a member of the immediate family of that covered person, or 2, with the intent and knowledge that the restricted personal information will be used to threaten, intimidate, or facilitate the commission of a crime against that covered person or a member of the immediate family of that covered person. 2, the term covered person means a state or local officer or employee whose restricted personal information is made publicly available because of the participation in or assistance provided to a federal criminal investigation by that officer or employee. So it says ICE agents are covered against these threats that Jeffries made, and I hope Pam Bondi, the U.S. Attorney General, is paying attention. There are those who have lost confidence in Bondi, but right now she is the best hope conservatives have if we want to see justice applied evenly. Yeah, and I think Hakeem Jeffries, he shouldn't be arrested for that, what he said. He should at least be talked to and say, like, dude, you can't say that. That's illegal. And he should come out and say, like, yeah, I made a mistake. It's never going to happen, but at least that's what I think should happen. It says now, Jeffries is desperate because his party is foundering. Democrats are running around doing stupid things and saying stupid things because they can't think of anything smart to do. If they did, they would move more to the center and try to address concerns that voters who voted for the winner have about the country. We won. Elections have consequences. Most people don't want to eat the slop that Democrats are serving. Figure it out. It says, but they can't, and I hope they don't. I hope they keep pushing harder to the left because that makes a clear-thinking people move more to the right. Racist is overdone, and Nazi is overdone. But fascist has been burnt to a crisp. The edge of it has dulled on the knife. Says, did I just mix metaphors? Did you? No, I don't think so. But maybe you did. Whatever. I'm not the expert. Yelling racist, Nazi, and fascist isn't going to hone it. Especially when these people don't even know what those words mean. Yes, and I've said that since I've been making videos on YouTube, is that the left does not know what those words mean. They never use them right. And in reverse order, the ones that they use the most wrongly is fascist, followed by Nazi, and then racist. It says Mussolini and his black shirts were actually fascist. It says, according to our scary new AI, fascism means, and this is going to be wrong because it's probably pulling it from Wikipedia, which is never right about anything in this respect. It says a far-right, authoritarian, and ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimentation of society and the economy. But unfortunately, that is actually not the correct definition of fascism, but of course Wikipedia decides it's, and I'm saying Wikipedia because, again, I guarantee that the AI pulled it from there. And what AI was it? It was Google, of course it was. So yeah, they definitely pulled it from Wikipedia. And it says, no, it doesn't, 20-something Google programmer, and this is what fascism actually means for people that want to know. It's a populist political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nation and often race above the individual, that is associated with a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, and that is characterized by severe economic or social regimentation and by forcible suppression of opposition. Sounds a lot like, actually, Joe Biden than it did Donald Trump. Okay? So there you go. That is the actual thing. It's not a far-right ideology. In fact, fascism requires big government, which you'll probably notice is not really a right-wing thing, but okay. So it says that is from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a Bible of the English language. The reference book that every one of us used in our educational process from the time we were big enough to lift one off the shelf. And if you can't spot the difference between the two definitions, I would direct you back to the first words in the AI version, far right. Because no, the far right has no monopoly on the word. Leftists can be fascist too. Yeah. See, the funny mustache German guy and Mussolini, who are both leftists, says neither the Oxford Dictionary, English Dictionary, nor the Encyclopedia Britannica defines fascism the way AI does. Beware of the brave new world. So what did Mussolini's black shirts do? Well, they enforced the will of the government through intimidation. It's known as Squadra di Azione, and I apologize for my really bad Italian accent. It was basically non-existent. So action squads, as wearing black uniforms, these groups went around the cities, identified the opposition, and then beat the hell out of them. Does that look familiar? Yes. Yes, it does. Right down to the black shirts. One can argue that Antifa is the militia of the Democratic Party. I think it's more than an argument. I think it's just a fact at this point. And if you look at what people do rather than what they say, I believe there's a good case for that. There's a super excellent, mega duper case for that. Because you never see those spaghetti arms beating up other progressives. Still, I don't think there's a definitive tie between the DNC and these guys that you or I could find. But they're out there, and their belief system certainly doesn't align with Donald Trump's. And this makes Hakeem Jeffrey's specific, but at the same time vague call for violence particularly disturbing. Sort of like Chuck Schumer's. He's not saying to a particular group to go out and do violence, but he is threatening it at the same time. And the way you do violence to people is first to identify them. If that is not the intent, then there's no reason to dox them. So Jeffries is just a coward hiding behind a shield of plausible deniability. He wants to call the anonymous black shirts to arms against ICE, and he is endorsing the intimidation of it. He's issued a threat, and the DOJ needs to issue a warrant. I wouldn't be upset about that either. Says they won't, but they should. Because if Jeffries isn't punished, he and others will just keep doing it. And in the immortal words of Fred Thompson, who is the man in the screenshot right there, says this business will get out of control. He'll be lucky to live through it. Yep, that is correct. So there you go. You have a correct definition of fascism in here. So congratulations. Go ahead and take a look at it. But this man right here is probably should at least get a talking to by the FBI to some degree and say, like, yeah, you can't do that. If you do it again, we're going to arrest you. But if they did arrest him for it, I wouldn't really care about that either. I'd be fine with it. So, do you agree with that? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.